My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you all are doing well. This is an Outdoor News Wave episode in regards to some interesting news stories that are taking place, unfolding right now. One company that we're going to focus on in this episode has been the focus of numerous outdoor news episodes. That company is REI. As you all may know, REI, since the pandemic, has been performing extremely poorly, all because, well, frankly, the decisions that they made themselves. When the pandemic hit, everybody was getting into the outdoors because socializing was frowned upon and whatnot. Outdoor companies were booming, with the exception of REI. Talking about their financials, in 2022, they lost $164 million. In 2023, $311 million. And with their latest financial disclosures, in 2024, they lost $156.4 million. That is a grand total of $632 million in losses. Since the company began reporting their losses, they have tried numerous things to right the ship, so to speak, to get onto a profitable path. So far, none of these things have been able to assist the company. They have laid off a ton of employees, shut down the campground that they ran and operated. They shuttered their experience program with tours and whatnot. And now they have announced some more actions. In the middle of this month, October 2025, REI has announced that they're shutting 3 more stores. They are closing a store in New Jersey. They're closing a store in New York City and also one in Boston. All 3 stores will shut down in 2026. REI did issue a public statement concerning the shutdown, basically talking about how they have to do what they have to do so that the company can succeed as a whole. And that's why basically they're shutting down those stores. They are trying their best to become profitable once again. When the story was breaking about the closures of these stores, I had all of you all sending this story to me. I went online, did a little bit of research. I saw the stores that are closing and whatnot. At the same time, I came across an article from the Wall Street Journal. The headline really caught my attention. The headline stated something along the lines of that New Yorkers were losing their favorite bathroom with the New York City store closure. When I saw this, I just started laughing. And so I did a little bit of research, and this is very telling. This really does show why REI is doing so poorly. So in New York City, public restrooms are hard to find, with the exception of the REI store. People loved going in there, not to shop, but rather to use their restroom. Here's an idea. Don't shut down the store. Just fill the thing full of like bathroom stalls and charge everybody who needs to use a clean restroom a small fee. REI could become one of the largest businesses in New York by doing something that simple. Think about it, REI. I think I have a plan for you all on how to become profitable. In all seriousness, though, this really does show the public sentiment that's out there, the public perception of REI. The New York store, it's not profitable. People just want to go there to use the restroom. That is very telling, and at the same time, very sad. You may be aware of this or not, but a new CEO was appointed back in February for REI. The previous CEO was unable to turn things around, so maybe this new one will be able to. With the new CEO taking control, she announced 4 pillars of success. And it's the typical marketing nonsense that you would expect. Basically, we're talking about goals that the company wants to work towards. An updated membership program, elevated services and experiences, an improved assortment, and a purpose-led culture. What does that mean, folks? I don't know. I doubt you do either. Ultimately, in the end, it doesn't matter. I really do hope that REI is able to correct things because the outdoor space needs competition. You need to have retailers and outfitters having a little bit of a competition with each other. That way, the retail space stays competitive. Having lots of options is never a bad thing. The next story that we're going to cover in this episode deals with an outdoor outfitter that is performing exceptionally bad. That's right, folks. Another outdoor outfitter is doing poorly. It's not just REI. The problems that REI have today are self-made. And in a sense, the same could be said about this additional outdoor retailer. The retailer that I'm talking about is Orvis. This is not a company that I've heard of before, but apparently they're huge. and they have been around for a very long time. Just recently, Orvis announced that they're closing roughly 31 stores and 5 outlet stores. That means the company is shuttering roughly half of their physical store presence. This company, Orvis, is based in Vermont, and they are known for their fishing equipment, their fishing reels, for selling outdoor gear, outdoor clothing, and whatnot. This company has been around, as I mentioned before, for a very long time. They were founded in 1856 by Charles Orvis, and they are America's oldest mail order retailer. When it comes to REI, the issues with being profitable are not entirely related to tariffs. I'm sure tariffs do play a role somewhat with Chinese manufactured goods and whatnot. But with this company here, Orvis, they blame the issues that they're having solely on tariffs. The CEO of this company has come out and they've blamed tariffs for all of their issues. And the reason for that is pretty simple, and it's also very obvious. The products that they were offering were made in China. That's right, everyone. The vast majority of the products that they sold were made in China. And they had very little, or I should say have very little, as far as diversity goes with their product lines and their supply streams. You have to consider, folks, that there's other outdoor retailers that are doing incredibly well. The issues that REI are having right now, they really created that mess for themselves. With this company, Orvis, tariffs very much are playing a role, again, because they don't have a diversified supply chain. There are plenty of outdoor retailers that are absolutely killing it as far as profits go right now. I'm talking about backcountry.com, Dick's Sporting Goods, Bass Pro Shops, and so on. There's certainly more to a company being financially secure than just tariffs alone. The plain and simple truth is the reasons why companies are either profitable or not profitable, those reasons vary greatly, as we're seeing here with REI and with this company, Orvis, with other outdoor retailers, Backcountry, Dick's Sporting Goods, Bass Pro Shops, and whatnot. There's a lot of reasons, there's a lot of moving parts that are in play here. One of those moving parts, or I should say one of the reasons why some companies are not doing so well, it's because of the shift in the way that people shop. Physical stores, they are on the way out. In the end, you're going to have a small amount of physical stores where everybody else sells online or within those physical stores. You can see this change taking place already. And the truth is, it's been taking place over the last 20 years. Big box stores such as Walmart, they are in. Shopping online, that is in. Going to a physical store for your makeup, for your cat food, for whatever, that is on the way out. Because of the shift in shopping patterns, a lot of companies with physical stores, they're struggling. And that's why so many physical stores are being shut down. And this makes a lot of sense. Shopping online is all about convenience. At the same time, you can save so much money. You usually can save quite a bit of money by shopping online because you have competing offers from different sellers. Take Amazon, for example. Amazon is putting up the listing for the product, and under that listing, you have countless sellers who are offering that product at different prices. They present the lowest price. So when you go looking for a backpack, let's say it costs $300 at REI, you go to Amazon, you're looking at a ton of different sellers, and that backpack is $220 instead of $300. What would you do? You would buy the backpack that's less expensive. You would get what you want to and save some money. This is another reason why some companies are doing so poorly. There's all of this competition to make a sell, and some sellers are willing to lose a little bit on the profit margin to make a profit in the end. Those are two very solid reasons why some companies are doing so poorly right now. Another possibility is customer sentiment, right? Take REI for an example. This is a company that was very, very popular. Over the years, not so much. I hear from people all the time who say they will never go into an REI store. They will never purchase from REI for a whole bunch of reasons. REI has done a good job of really tailoring their experiences and their products towards a certain wealth bracket, a certain political leaning. And because of that, a lot of people have just thrown their hands up and said, hey, I am done with this company. All of these reasons and more I have touched upon in previous episodes, and I'm not going to talk about it now. Certainly with REI, there's a lot of negativity surrounding this company right now. There's a lot of people who do not want to purchase from them. As far as Orvis goes, I can't talk about that because I've never heard of this company before. We do not have any Orvis outfitters in this area. So I really can't say what the customer sentiment is, but it's possible that it does play a role. Talking about popularity though, it does go hand in hand with sales, with profitability. Take a look at some of the companies that I've mentioned already. Backcountry.com, Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods. These companies are reporting incredible numbers, incredible profits. Dick's Sporting Goods, Bass Pro Shops, they all have physical stores, and they're reporting 5% better sales this year than last year. We're talking about robust growth, robust profits for these companies. They are able to look at the market and adjust. They're able to tailor their product streams to avoid tariffs and whatnot. In the end, they're doing what they need to do to survive. And the simple truth is, REI and Orvis, they will have to do the same. As it stands right now, REI, they're closing stores, they're laying people off. Then we have Orvis, closing stores, laying people off. It will be interesting to see how things go for these companies from here. Can they turn things around? That remains to be seen. Without a doubt, the outdoor industry is at an interesting point. We had the pandemic. Everybody, with the exception of REI, was making a ton of money, right? Everyone was getting into the outdoors. They were exploring, not socializing and whatnot. The pandemic's over. People are now socializing and getting out less. That alone plays an important role, but at the same time, there's a whole lot more to it. Something else that I think outdoor companies need to think about is how expensive their products have become. Buying a sleeping pad for $250, a backpack for over $300, a sleeping bag, $500, $600. These prices do not make sense for individuals who are getting out for maybe a couple trips a year, right? These outdoor companies cannot expect their customers to spend that type of money on gear that they're only going to use once or twice a year. Going back to REI, this is a big problem that they faced during the pandemic. They tailored all of their merchandise, their products, towards like the 1%, and customers turned their back on the company, plain and simple. That makes a lot of sense, and it does explain why Dick's Sporting Goods, Bass Pro Shops, why they're doing so good. They have a very wide and robust product stream. Lots of products at all different price ranges. When it comes to camping, a lot of people, they want to go out for 1 to 2 trips a year. So they're going to go to the store, buy a cheap tent, and go out and have fun. There's no reason for them to go in debt and pay off this expensive gear that they're only going to use once or twice a year. That makes no sense at all. Anyways, my friends, that is it for this episode. Make sure to comment down below, share your thoughts. When it comes to my viewers, I already have a good idea on how they feel about REI. I've been reading the comments, thousands and thousands of comments for years. I've been reading the hundreds and hundreds of emails and messages. So I know about REI, but what about this company called Orvis? Make sure to sound off in the comment section down below. What do you know about Orvis? Fly fishing, sporting goods, apparel. Is this a company that you like? Is this a company that you support? Maybe you love this company. Or maybe you're like me and you've never heard of them before. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the thumbs up. That's a great way to support this channel. Everyone, take care, be well, strength and honor. Thanks for watching.